Sandra all the time is here with a cold hard truth. She's the ears and the eyes for me and you. Every day, everyone want to hear from Sandra. And every time on the air, she's getting better. Tell your sister, tell your brother, tell your mama, call Sandra in the morning and in the evening. They always calling Sandra. And when they start fighting, they calling Sandra. And
That's right, folks. Everyone is telling their mama about the cold hard truth. Welcome to another episode with more truth telling, more problem solving, and of course, more tea spilling than ever before. Sit back, students, grab your tea and turn up the volume because class is now in session. Call in at 936-2626 because your voice matters. Share your opinion on issues that matter the most to you. All right. Good morning, everyone. Happy Friday. Hope you guys are having a wonderful day. Wow, it's a rainy one out there. So just give me a quick second here. We're going to grab some links for the show real quick. Happy Friday to all of our radio listeners. Hard to believe how quickly this week went by. All right. We have got a lot going on. Give me one quick second here. I see something going on in the celebrity world that has been dominating the news. This 31-year-old man, Liam Payne, I don't even know who he is. Is he an actor? What was he? Somehow managed to fall off a building. And it's making the news, my goodness, all over the place. But seems to me drugs are involved. Oh, young people, old people, middle-aged people. Drugs no bueno. Just leave them alone, honey child. Leave them alone. All right, give me one quick second. I'm just going to do something in the background. All right, for those of you who are wondering on the radio, what is that? What's that all about? Here you go.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, get ready for the biggest family-friendly event of the year. The Rotary Club of Grand Cayman proudly presents Circus International. 3 unforgettable days of incredible entertainment, fun for all ages. Join us at the Lions Community Center on October 17th, 18th, and 19th. Don't wait. Grab your tickets now at menagerie-productions.com. Come see Circus International.
Alrighty.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, get ready for the biggest family-friendly event of the year. The Rotary Club of Grand Cayman proudly presents Circus International. 3 unforgettable days of incredible entertainment, fun for all ages. Join us at the Lions Community Center on October 17th, 18th, and 19th. Don't wait. Grab your tickets now at menagerie-productions.com. Come see Circus International. Ladies and gentlemen, gentlemen, boys and girls, get ready for the biggest family-friendly event of the year. The Rotary Club of Grand Cayman proudly presents Circus International. 3 unforgettable days of incredible entertainment, fun for all ages. Join us at the Lions Community Center on October 17th, 18th, and 19th. Don't wait. Grab your tickets now at menagerie-productions.com. Come see Circus International.
All right, folks. It was on the loop button. Kept looping. Hello. Good morning. Everybody feeling okay? Everybody good? Oh, my goodness. Big shout out to all of our overseas students who are studying, making their sacrifices, as you will have to do. Listen, life is not without sacrifices. So you do what you got to do, honey child. So I do want to let all of them know that we are obviously thinking of them, and it's important that they are aware that they are aware of how much we value them focusing and what they need to focus on. There's lots of unfortunate distractions out there, and naturally, we're here to support our young people as much as we possibly can. And yeah, they have to do their part as well, right? That's all part of what is required. So I just want to give them a big shout out. I was thinking about a young lady who is overseas studying to be an ophthalmologist, I believe, ophthalmologist, one of those two. And so she's finished with her degree part, and she is now actually doing the practicum part where she's, doing training, a training contract and so forth. So big shout out, young lady. You know who you are. I know you and your mom always listen to the program, and just, remain steadfast in the things that you have got to do and get done. Yes, that's life, my love. Just stick with it and you'll come out much, much better off from the experience on the other end. And big shout out to everybody listening in Cayman Brac. We've got our Cayman Brac family who are often tuned into the programs. I thank you guys also for tuning in right here on the Cold Hard Truth. Somebody saw me the other day like, oh, Sandy, you know that song you play at the beginning of the show? That is the best song. They said that song by George, George, his last name is escaping me now. I was trying to check something. Anyway, they said to me, that song is so on point when you listen to the lyrics. All right. Happy Friday, everybody. All right. We do have Mr. Panton, who's going to be joining us at some point this morning during the show. So we will keep an eye and ear out for that. And I'm just checking something on this phone. All right. So, we'll keep an eye out for that. So good morning, good folks. Let me see who's in El Clase. Diamond Princess, good morning. How are you? So I just want to remind people that today is the last day now. Y'all make me laugh. Hear this person. You too bright, but if we good. You got vacay, we got work. We got work. Oh my gosh. No radio. What? It's still. I was a little bit late. So that could have been my fault. Do we have radio now? Can y'all hear me now? Yes. So, yep, I will be taking my vacay. And so, good morning. Liam was a singer in a band, but drugs. Oh, still no radio? Okay, hold on. Let's get radio going, honey child. We can't leave them behind. We got to pull them all through. All right, let me see. Let's see. I feel like we could do something. Oh, let's do some of our promos for our international listeners.
Hey K-Man, los saluda DJ Yoyo, The Energy, y estás escuchando The Cold Hard Truth con la voz del pueblo, Sandra Hill, todas las mañanas, 7:30 AM, only on Bobo, 89.1 FM.
Mga kabayan, nakatutok po kayo sa Cold Hard Truth, hatid ni Sandy Hill, ang nangungunang talk show sa Cayman, ang boses ng masa.
Caramba! What on earth? Muted myself. I'm so sorry. Am I still live on radio? I muted myself while I was listening to the feed earlier. So anyway, we're still good on radio? Still no radio? Okay. I could swear I just heard myself. Hold on. I listened to the radio and I heard myself. Are you on the right station? One second. Let me see. But it might have just kicked out again because I had myself muted. Oh, Lord. It did kick in, but then it's gone again. Ay. All right. Give me 1 second. We know what we got to do when it's gone again. They got some AI tool over there that I need to play solid music for about 30 seconds and then it kicks back in. So let's get it. Hold on, honey child. What am I gonna play? La 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 la. Oh, let's do a little commercial.
Are you tired of overpaying for TV services? Can't figure out VPNs? Constantly missing your favorite TV shows? And no access to the good stuff on streaming services? The frustration is real, but it doesn't have to be. Contact Roque, Cayman Streaming Pros. We'll put you back in the driver's seat in front of your TV. Call, WhatsApp, or message Roque today on 926-1213. Roque is not a TV service provider. Terms and conditions apply.
In the mornings, no one wants to miss listening to the Cold Hard Truth or reading CMR. Cayman's #1 news platform has made your morning commute fun again. Pass this time with the Cold Hard Truth on weekdays from 7:30 a.m. Talk radio that's engaging, entertaining, and enlightening. But be careful. Some mornings it's so hot, you might run into a bit of trouble.
All right, folks, I'm back on radio. Oh my gosh. All righty then. Everybody good? We're here. Woo! Yes, my apologies. I had my mic muted. I have to listen through it through the phone to then hear that I'm back online and yada. All right. So thank you guys so much. Somebody sent me a video that says scaremongering. What is this video? I can't play these things live because some of y'all be pumping off and it ain't 9:30 yet. Something about cleaning products. Yeah, you can't listen. People put these video montages and stuff together and you can't always believe them. They're like, oh, don't use Fabuloso. Fabuloso soon sue somebody. They gotta find out who made that video and they're gonna sue them. All right, so we're back. Yes, ma'am. Good morning. Buenos dias. So I was saying that we're going to be taking a little 2-week break. I got a little bit of sensitivity under my eye today. This eye feels a little bit sensitive. That's lack of sleep, I can tell y'all now. I'll have to put some ice in that a little bit later on. Didn't go to bed until like 1 o'clock last night. Don't ask. Anyway, I'm trying to get sorted. Do ask, actually. What were you doing up until 1 o'clock in the morning? I was cleaning up my closet and looking at how many things I have in my closet that I'm like, wow, this is in the closet? Why is it that I wear the same clothes over and over again? Because there's a lot in the closet. I mean, my gosh, so much stuff in that closet. I am just, it's ridiculous. It really is. Anywho, I cleaned it out. I must have had about 50 pair of black pants. What is it about a black pants that every time I see a black pants, I have to buy it? I do love a black pants, though, I gotta admit. But anyway, I've taken out half of them already, and I'm donating some already going overseas, packed in a suitcase. And I'll have some for local people. So if you were, and listen, I'm not driving all over the place to deliver nothing. Let me make it very, very clear. If you are a medium to large, medium meaning maybe the occasional size 12, but really 14s, you can message me and I'll get you sorted out. And I'm going to put it in one bag. I ain't got no time to be running around the block to this one, that one, everybody. So yes, I'm still cleaning out some stuff and trying to pull out things that really don't get worn. And I'm just going to donate it. Somebody else can be wearing it, honey child. Don't just have it sitting in the closet for no reason. All right. So I was up doing that, and then I'm supposed to be packing. So I'm going to really put a dent in the packing today. When you go longer distances, you got to pack smarter. So my girlfriend was saying to me yesterday, because I like to put things in like my Ziploc bags, like I do my toiletries in a Ziploc bag, like lotions in one, and then I pack those in a suitcase. And so I do certain clothes and stuff as well. And then my girlfriend said, girl, pack outfits in those bags for every day so that you don't have to think about it. When you get there on Tuesday, you grab your Tuesday outfit and you're good to go. I was like, because I was just doing like bras in one bag, undies in one bag, and then like tops and everything else I would just fold and put in. She's like, no. Organize it to the hilts, like pack it by the day. And I thought, that's actually a really good idea. So I'm going to go through and pack 14 days worth of clothes, and then if you're doing something in the evening, you pull out like dinner wear these days, your day gear. We're going to be doing a lot of walking. So I got like pack undies, socks, my bra, top and bottoms in one bag and do 14 days of that. I like it. And then I'm not going to carry too many shoes. Probably a good pair or two of walking shoes because you got to have backup pair just in case. Reminds me of the one time that I went to Panama. Can I tell you all? This was actually one of the first trips that I did. It might have been the first trip with Marlon. We went to Panama together, and or did we go to Honduras first? Right here, a little bit of puffiness and soreness going on there. Anyway, we went to, I think it was Panama first and then Honduras. I can't even remember. But anyway, we took a trip to Panama, and or was it Honduras? Lord have mercy. The trips were in the same, they were kind of close together. So I can't say that I remember which one this happened. Maybe this was Honduras. I can't remember. Anyway, because both of them we stayed at like in the rainforest kind of thing. And then the other part of the trip, we were in the city. I believe it was Honduras. And we stayed like in these little cottages at the, what's that area called? Bamboa Resort or whatever. Bamboa, is it Bamboa? Anyway, we were there. I think it's Bamboa Rainforest Resort, something. No, not Bamboa. What the heck is it called again? Now this is going to bother me. Anybody knows where I'm talking about in Honduras? So they took you on tours, and there was like a river. Oh yeah, this was Honduras, because I'll tell you why I remember now. Something begins with an R was the location, not Bamboa, something. Anybody in Honduras know where I'm talking about? Oh my gosh. All right, it'll come to me. Anyway, we went to this resort, like out in the country, beautiful floral stuff, lots of agoutis. This was a part of the trip that actually had me pico bonito. Muchas gracias, Marshall. Yes, pico. Yeah. Hold on. It was pico. Is it Pico Bonita? Pico Bonito? National Park, Las Palmas, La Isla Bonita. No. Bonita. Let me see. Pages. I think I still follow them. Is it Pico? Something Honduras. Yeah, I think it's Pico Bonito, but it's like a resort. And I think the resort has since closed down, But anyway, yeah, it's in Saiba, right? Yeah, I think this is it. Pico Bonito Hotel in La Saiba. Anyway, we went. Very beautiful property. There were a lot of absolutely gorgeous and super fat agoutis. Yes, here it is, 2014. I'm looking at my notes now. Look at that. Thanks, Facebook. Oh my gosh, the food was delicious. The property was beautiful. Let me see here. Oh yeah, look at this. I'm going to show you guys this. Hold on. I'll take a little trip back in time. 2014. Oh my gosh, time sure is flying. But have a look at this. This is one of the agoutis that I saw. They were so big. Look at that little fella right there. And so I understood that on the resort, they're actually protected and you can't kill them or eat them or anything. And they will walk around like nobody, like they weren't really interacting with people, but they were very comfortable in that setting. So they were not afraid of people. Let me put it that way. So, you couldn't pet them or anything like that, but they would walk around in very, very close proximity. They weren't running from people or anything like that. They were just chilling out and eating whatever they eat, berries and whatever, off the ground. So, it was so interesting to see them relatively up close. Here, they run from you because they know what y'all Caymanians be up to. These are some pictures from the property. I can't believe 2014. That's 10 years ago. Absolutely lush and gorgeous and beautiful. This was like the hall and stuff where we did our dining. Look at me, I got to take a food picture. Lobster tail, breakfast in the mornings. Yes, honey child. Look at that fresh fruit. So we had a fantastic time back then. It must have been before my Panama trip, but anyway, had a great time. So when I was on the property, this is a shoe story. I'm going to get to the point here in a second. When I was on the property, they had a tour. So I was like, let's do like we did the whole butterfly thing. And we got a tour around the property and all sorts of fun excursions and stuff they had. So one of them that you could do was this guy took you hiking and you went down to the riverbed and you could swim in the river and whatever. Well, honey child, nobody told me how rugged the hike was. I looked at that tour guide and I thought, this man got one big belly on him. It can't be that bad. I mean, he's probably not in the best of shapes. Did I underestimate him? This is why they say you can't always judge a book by its cover, honey child. That man was fitter than me, although he was probably about 25 pounds heavier because he does it every day. So it was like nothing to him. So the terrain was so rugged that I had on these, they were brand new shoes. I'll never forget. Brand new shoes, but they were kind of like, the minimalist ones that you put your foot in them and they almost look like your feet. Like they have the little thing for each toe. And they were raved for a hot minute because everybody's like, they're better for your feet. They're minimalist, yada, yada, yada. I don't even think that's true. Marketing. So I had a pair of those shoes on. I had just put them on and we started the journey. And about 45 minutes in, I'm like, wait a minute, we're not there yet. And this terrain was rugged. Like some of it, there was hardly a path. just a path, and people keep walking over and over. Like there was no paved path or anything like that. There was no cutout mall road path. It was rough. And you know me, Tony Chan, I was huffing and puffing, like, when are we gonna get there? And he's like, oh yeah, we probably still have another 45 minutes. I was like, Lord Jesus. I was like, no. I'm done. I'm tapping out. I know my limits and I'm tapping out. But the worst part about it is my shoes. The sole of the shoes started to disintegrate. Like they literally came off. And so I couldn't go on anymore because I couldn't walk on this terrain barefoot. So he was like, he said, well, I'm going to send somebody to collect you. Now I was like, listen, don't get me lost up in the bushes of the forest of La Ceiba, Nayana, because when we got to certain points, I could begin to see the water. There were like local people swimming and stuff in the water. And there were guards, like military people, there on the water at big weaponry. I don't know what kind of AK 55,000 +2 that they had on them, but these were some big guns, some big weapons. And I was saying to him, when you're not used to seeing stuff like that, even when you travel, it's unusual. Like it, you kind of step back a little bit. Like, why are there armed militia on the riverbank? And he said, yeah, well, Honduras is what it is. And we got a lot of gang activity and other stuff, chill. So he's like, they're there to actually protect the national park because it's a national park. So they want to make sure that nobody is doing anything illegal on that property. And I was like, really? With those type of guns? They said, yeah, we got to match the criminals. Good morning, caller.
Good morning, Sandra. How you doing today?
Morning. Not bad. How are you? You calling me early today?
I'm calling you earlier because I see you talking about that Gouda.
Aren't they beautiful?
Yeah, they're really cool. They're beautiful. I see them out on my farm all the time.
Yes.
They are cool. They're cute. I see sometimes out in the East End, I see the white spotted kind as well.
White spotted? Oh, I've never seen one of those before.
Yeah, they're rarer than the regular ones. Actually, a goody is also a word for a color of hide, like in the hide industry.
Oh, okay.
Golden mahogany color as well. But I wanted to share this with you. Something that's really, really cool about the agouti is that it has a symbiotic relationship with the Brazil nut tree, because the Brazil nut shell is like about the size of a cricket ball. Super, super, super hard. And the only animal in the whole South or Central American jungle that has the ability to chew through that shell is a agouti.
Oh, wow. And
the nuts, the Brazil nuts, that the agouti goes and buries for hard time, like a squirrel will, That's the only way that the Brazil nut is able to propagate itself through the forest. So because of that, the plant and the animal, through the ages of time, they have this symbiotic relationship.
Wow.
Yeah. So
nice. So good to know. Very, very interesting.
Somewhat useless trivia for the morning.
No, I love it. Thank you so much, Jonathan. That's very, very interesting. No, listen, I find agoutis because, where I live now, I see them much more. Like, I never saw them really in Newlands, like down Rackley Boulevard area. I never saw an agouti in all the million years I lived there. But boy, I could literally see them almost daily in Lower Valley. And they are so interesting to look at. And you can see that they're families and they go out harvesting or whatever you want to call it together. They tend to come out at certain times of the day. So like dusk and dawn, but I've seen them at night. You got to be careful not to run them over at night. So I've seen them at night. And I've also seen them during the day, like 11:30, kind of going into the afternoon hours. So sometimes you kind of see them, but I think they go back into the bushes kind of deep, so you don't really see them when it starts to get hot out. But yeah, they're very, very fascinating. I can see why we call them a rabbit, because there are times when they run, like they can run. And then there are times when they kind of have a hopping, like a traditional rabbit. They have a bit of a hopping motion as well. A couple of days ago, I saw 3 of them. And when you see all 3 of them, it's not quite as obvious that they're together, because they seem to still give each other a little bit of space and whatever. But the other day, I saw 2 as close as seeing them together, like in proximity. So one dashed across me and then the other one came afterwards. I figure maybe that was mama and one of her babies. But yeah, it was an absolutely gorgeous and beautiful property. But is this resort still open? I think somebody told me it had closed or something. But anyway, my poor shoes fell apart. Luckily, take a second pair of shoes, honey Joe. And yeah, he sent one of the guys for me to collect me, to take me back to the hotel. And they were out there for hours. They eventually Marlene told me what happened on the rest of the trip. They eventually got to this kind of waterfall river thing, and they were swimming and whatever. So they had a great time because he continued the journey. But Chad, I had to tap out. I was like, oh no, I ain't about to have no heart troubles out here in the bushes. And secondly, I need proper shoes. So I am so done. And don't judge a book by its cover, because that little man with that little pouch in his belly could outwalk me in the bushes any day of the week and then some. So it was a very, very interesting trip. I absolutely loved it. When we did the nature tours and stuff, I remember the lady saying to me, oh, she said, you speak Spanish? And I said, well, I took it in school for like 3 years. And, I actually was getting very, very fluent, very, very good. So much so that when I took the exam in high school, I was able to opt out of my foreign language requirement. But she said, you know what you need? She said, if you come in about 6 months and you just live in a Spanish speaking country, she's like, girl, you will pick it up so quickly. And I said, yeah, I know. Because I still hear and understand a lot. So why is this thing pinging in my ear? So yeah. Anyway, beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. And then we went into the city for like one day to go to the mall, but most of our time was just spent at the Pico Bonito hotel, resort lodge, or whatever it's called. Panama, we did a bit more of like time in the city and stuff because there's more to see, the canal. But that's been like 10 years, over 10 years now. So I need to redo my Panama trip. Big shout out to Cayman Airways. You can fly direct with them, obviously, to these beautiful destinations. But yeah, I want to redo Panama because I want to see, now that the canal expansion has been completed, I want to see exactly what that looks like. Although I'm told that because of the, global warming, climate change, whatever, that sometimes there's an issue with the canal getting enough water for these massive ships to pass through. So that is pretty wild and crazy. But folks, listen, I'm going halfway around the world, someplace I've never been before. I'm super excited. And all I want to tell you is next year it's Europe. And you just got to travel, go and see something different. And when I come back, I'll tell you guys about this fantastic opportunity. So let me just have a look now. I want to know why this thing is pinging me, why the notifications are on. Yeah, so messages. Let's see, allow notifications, critical alerts. We're gonna do no sound. Okay, none, no sound. Yes, there we go. So we'll get visual notifications, but no sound. All right. Damien, good morning. Gabby says, Sandy, my grandmother's Honduran, and I always go to Honduras here. And the only thing I wear are shoes, and the only areas that are they're much to wear are Crocs. They are a must to wear. Oh yes, I love me a good Croc. Thank you, Marco. Buenos dias. Irvlyn says that she's still packing for her trip. Ooh, message me. I want to know exactly where you're going. Damien says, yes, these are some of the gangs. What a hot mess. But the military people there, they were not, listen, with this resort, they were standing there guarding the resort. I was like, okay, I guess I should feel safe. Not too sure. But when they explained to me how the Gutis were protected in that area, and nobody can eat them, nobody can touch them, I thought, wow, that's beautiful, actually. Marshall says, if your eye is bothering you, I think you should cancel your trip and keep the show going. It ain't that bad now. Come on, Marshall. Just a little eye patch, a little ice. We'll get that sorted out. And more importantly, a good night's sleep. So I'm going to try to get a good night's sleep tonight. Because the last thing you want to do is to be tired going into like a 15-hour plane ride. You know what I'm saying? Like you want to be balanced and on a trip. So what are some tips to fight jet lag? So we've been told by the organizers of the trip that one of the things that they find works really, really well is to, as you get on the flight for the long haul, because it's multiple jumps, as you get on that flight, you change your watch or your clock to the time of your final destination. So like if you were going to the UK, for example, change it to UK time 6 hours ahead as you get on the BA flight. And then visually, when you look at the watch, your brain starts to adjust what it needs to adjust for the time zone that you're going into. Makes sense. Makes logical sense. And so I'm going to try that, and I'll let y'all know how that goes. And the other thing they said is, listen, when you look at the clock, if the clock says in your destination now, it's what would normally be your bedtime, then go to bed on the plane, go to sleep, have dinner, and go to sleep. I was like, oh, okay. Yeah. So you start to get your, is it circadian rhythm in line where it needs to be for the new time zone. So we'll try all those little tricks of the trade, honey child, because, you know, when you go on these trips, you got a lot of touring and up and down to do. So you ain't got time to be tired and disoriented. No jet lag. All right. Morning, Miss Emma. Morning, honey child. Miss Romelia is here. Thank you very, very much. Take some electrolytes with you to add to your water. Thank you, Miss Wanda. So I am going to take some, what's it called? You know, all the vitamin C packs and stuff like that. So normally I don't really take vitamins, but I'm going to take those to kind of boost up my vitamin C levels. Zinc gummies I'm going to take as well to try to starve off any viral stuff that might be happening. Washing my hands plenty as you go through like places like airports and stuff. Got my COVID shot already under my belt. And yeah, just gonna have a good time, honey chill. Comfortable clothing and comfortable shoes. Irvlyn says, I don't change mine, it rolls over automatically. No, well, the idea behind it, Irvlyn, is that if you change it, like you change your time zone, that helps your brain. So it's not about the clock adjusting or not. I mean, obviously, once your phone picks up on their network, it'll automatically do that if you're wearing like a smartwatch or whatever. But this is to purposely get your mind thinking that you are already in that time zone before you reach it. So that then you have the 15 hours, your brain is already and your body is starting to adjust to that. Good morning, Strong Wilt. She says, Strong Wilt, I think you are a woman, Strong Wilt, yes? Strong Wilt says, good morning, Auntie Sandy. Did you like Auntie Julie's dress for the graduation? Why y'all had to go there on a Friday? No, I didn't like it. It's hideous. And I don't know what's wrong with her. I think she's purposely wearing these outfits now so that we have something to talk about. She looked like a Christmas tree. Those of you who might have missed it, there you go. You know, it wouldn't have been such a bad dress. I still can't believe y'all tell me this woman has these outfits made. She used to fire somebody. That's who she should be firing. I think it would not have been a bad dress, minus the frills on the bottom and the arms. What are those? That's just, ugh. Sometimes you can do too much to an outfit. Simple outfits are better. I don't mind the color necessarily, although I think a sequin style dress for graduation might be a bit too much. It's like you're going to a Christmas party or something. But the little frills around it did it in for me. Like seriously. Peridot Max says she looks like Mrs. Claus. Child, Mrs. Claus be looking good in her little Christmas outfit. So, I'm guessing she doesn't wear any jewelry for religious reasons or something. She likes to be a very simple woman. You know, it's so funny because she's trying to be simple in certain aspects, and then the outfits be trying to turn up on us. And I'm like, what? Not that turn up outfits. So no, this one would not get a pass. This outfit would also fail. And I do need to introduce her to the concept of Spanx. Is that what y'all call them these days? Skins or whatever Kardashian girls are calling them. They do help. Now, I hate wearing them myself, honey child, because, oh, God. That's when you're like, yeah, those 50 pounds I need to lose. Because, boy, when they snatch you in, everything's tight. You're like, oh, I can't breathe. I hope I don't have to go to the bathroom. Because trying to get in and out of one of those is madness. But anywho, I don't know. There has to be a way to find a dress style that is more flattering to her body type, because everybody has a different body type, you know? And a good designer, a good seamstress, they can make stuff that will accentuate your good parts and try to hide the bad parts. So the midsection, not so good. But maybe the top, does she have any cleavage? Are we allowed to see cleavage? She might not want us to see any of that, honey child. But you know, let me put it this way, not really cleavage, but a different neckline. I feel like she always wears the same necklines, and they're not really, you know, that neck not really where we should be, our eyes should be going. Like, it's not all that flattering. But if you brought it down a little bit in a different style of neckline, maybe it might work. Anywho, yeah, that ain't gonna work. But anyway, I'm just glad that she finally showed up to a graduation. About time, because the last 4 years, every graduation ceremony, she was missing in action, honey child. It was like she was not gonna be there. Now, someone sent me something which I thought was interesting. We did post it on Facebook. And they said that there was less than 25 people graduating in Cayman Brac between all the schools and whatever. I mean, I only thought they had one school, but there you go. I only thought there was one high school, but is there something else that they can graduate from in Cayman Brac? And they said, imagine that we are going to build a $25 million, not 25 million, $50 million plus, because already the engineering crew is, before they've even break ground, they haven't even put a shovel in. They're already saying, oh yeah, adjusted estimates are now 75 million. Yeah, so this is going to be one wild ride. Speaking of which, I'm going to give y'all a little sus. Come on in, class. Come a little bit closer. Election sus. All right, hold on. I'm gonna notify everybody in the group. Tune in now for some election sus. I'm gonna tell y'all something. All right, remember, I actually need to put this video clip up. I'm not gonna touch the video thing right now because y'all know the computer can't handle it. The computer is it's going to crash if I do anything with that. So I'm not touching it. But remember, I was saying to you guys a couple days ago, I was going through Sir Alden's speech that he gave at the PPM, the Progressives Meet and Greet. And he made mention in there that the election is going to be in June. Now, to me, that was shocking because I'm like, shouldn't the election be March or April like it was last time? Like basically keeping it strictly in a 4-year cycle. So the fact that he said that, remember now he's Speaker of the House, and him and Julie are frenemies, PPM members kind of thing. I believe he has some insight into this. Oh, hold on. This is these people calling about Zeus. He's probably running late. 1 second. Hello, good morning. Hello, sir. Oh, the usual cut, not too much, just, Oh, Lord, he's got tangles on him. Well, oh gosh, really? Oh, uh-huh. All right. Well, do what you got to do. If you have to, yeah, I'm actually on air, so I can't talk for too long. But yeah, if you have to, yeah, if you have to shave him down so that you don't pull too much on the hair, then do what you got to do. It's all right. It's only hair. It'll grow back. Yeah. Okay. Uh, Gosh, do I need to tell him to brush his teeth? He knows the usual. Brush his teeth. Take care of the little private areas. All right. Got to get Zeus looking cute while I'm away, y'all. He can't be looking like the ragamuffin. He says it a little bit. He's got some matting and some of it. Oh, yeah. Okay. He was just there 3 weeks ago. He's matted already. Yeah, he's got that hair. You better be trying to brush that every day. So yes. So this person said, imagine we had 157 students. Was it 157 students? No, 197 students from John Gray and about the same from Clifton Hunter. The BRAC and Lehman Scott High School, in the BRAC at Lehman Scott High School, less than 25 students in the same year group. Wow, that's a small school, y'all. And so the question is, how can we justify this kind of a spend? Now, I noticed somebody was in the comments section and they were saying, the cost of construction. That's not the cost of construction. That's the stuff that she wants in the school. The mega, kitchen, chef specialty kitchen, all these kind of, she's added a lot of frills to the project that quite frankly are absolutely not needed. So Alden made this kind of low-key announcement that the election is going to happen in June instead of like April, May time. And I have been reliably informed, this is the source now, I have been reliably informed that the reason why the premier wants it in June is directly in relation to the school project. There's something, remember the last election when the PPM tried to sign all these projects at the last minute and the auditor general says, no, you can't be doing that. So within 6 months of an election, you can't do certain things, right? You can't take on committing the next government to massive multi-million-dollar projects, et cetera, et cetera. Well, she's running out of time. So in order for her to commit this country and our future generations and all of her DNA from now on to this ridiculous project, she has to push the election back to June so that she does not run afoul of these guidelines that have been set by the Auditor General's office. And there's something, I don't know if it's a contract that needs to be signed, or she wants them to actually break ground so then that it's more difficult to undo it. Like if the next government comes in there and they axe the whole project, she's almost trying to ensure that it is impossible for them to do that. This woman is, wow, it's all kind of something. So now y'all know if we're having the election in June, that is exactly why it's happening. Because she is strategically setting us up so that she will get her school. It's so interesting because remember when Alden McLaughlin, Sir Alden, when he was building Clifton Hunter and people were like, again, why are you building the school? This is too much, et cetera, et cetera. And he basically said that it would take an act of God to stop him. And I thought, oh, y'all like to challenge God? I wouldn't do that if I were you. I mean, but yeah, ridiculous. And I feel like she's not saying that, but she's doing that. So someone also put up some clips about the long road to project completion. And it says here that in 2020, the Ministry of Education said that the final phases of the new John Gray High School could cost more than $106 million. And again, think about how many students John Gray High School at least services versus how many will be serviced in the BRAC. Now, here's the other thing. The school was built for $110 million, but the value was determined to be impaired against the cost of construction by at least $20 million. So what that means is we built a school for $110.1 million, and the value of it, this is Clifton Hunter now. So I was just talking about John Gray. Now we're talking about Clifton Hunter. The value of Clifton Hunter is 90 million or potentially even less than that. So we're overpaying for these structures, even as it relates to, I mean, I guess we'd never sell a school, you know what I mean? But still, even as it relates to market value, it's not what it is, like what it should be. Isn't that crazy? And the exact same thing is going to happen with the Cayman Brac School. So, you know, always over budget. Pretty crazy when you contemplate exactly what that means. Wow. Anyway, like I said, I've got it on good authority that that's why she's going to push back the election until June. I don't know how much more we can take until then. Leroy says Zeus is getting the royal car treatment. Oh, Anthony says that was a quick upsell from the groomer when you're on it. No, it's the same. No. Animal House, they're amazing. Big shout out to all the groomers. No, they just want to know to make sure that I'm happy when I see my dog. But you know what? I'm not all that fussy, to be honest. I'm like, listen, it's just hair, fur, whatever. It'll grow back. You probably can't do too much. He's so cute. You can't do too much to make him look bad. But yeah, if he needs to be shaved down, you know, sometimes it's cooler for them during the summer months to give them a nice cut. And then they get a whole new coat, and then it's so pretty when it starts to come in as well. Speak up or take what your masters leave you, says, wonder where the difference went. Was it washed and slide to those in power? Those projects were both delayed by so long that I don't know where the construction costs were eaten up, but it's crazy. Miss Sue says, good morning, Sandy. She's way worse than Alden. What a waste of money she's spending. OMG. Yes, update the school in the BRAC and add to it. No need to go extreme. I think that's the issue really, is as the play over the weekend, what happening demonstrated, the school of opulence is the perfect term for it. It's just overkill. And again, mark my word, I've said this on more than one occasion. I'm going to say it again. The reason why she's doing this is one of these days she wants her name on that school. And it's going to be the Juliana O'Connor Conley School. Yeah. And so, you know, she wants it to be, it's like people build buildings and structures to try to make themselves important in this world. And that, in my humble opinion, is what this is all about. And so we have to make sure that we never name a school after her for sure, because she's been like the worst education minister ever. I'm just saying. Andrew says, no, Cayman Islands, we cannot sit back and allow this to happen. Election should take place in May as scheduled, no later. Money is spending not for any benefit to the people of these islands. Outrageous. And you see, the problem, Andrew, is the Constitution, I guess, gives her certain leeway on how and when to prorogue the government. Now, let me be clear. You know how we can have an early election earlier than June? Is all of those cabinet members that sit with her, and I want them to listen to me carefully. Isaac, John, because he's all for the June election, by the way. John is fully supporting it because him and Julie are like Seat and Batty. John, Minister Jay, Minister Kenneth Bryan. Who else is a cabinet minister? Catherine Wilkes is a cabinet minister. Sabrina Turner. All of her cabinet, I think I got them all right. All of her cabinet members can stand up and said, no, honey child, we're going to walk off the government. Like they can quit the government and that will force an election. I know she'd run to PPM and try to put a government back together. But I think at that stage, if they do it close enough to when the election should be called or prorogued, I think the governor is going to be like, you know what, y'all immature people need to tap out and let's hold the election. So there is some power within their circle to be able to do this. Yes. Let me see here now. All right, chill. All right, let me just have a look. At some WhatsApp comments. Good morning. Another positive for Judicana and crew having the election in June is that most people are on vacation and off island, and they want that referendum to pass. Vote no. Oh, yeah. Like, again, why do it in June when people are not even here? You're right. I hadn't even thought about the vacation cycle. Island Pearl says, Sandy, how or what do we as a people do if we are against the BRAC school project? Island Pearl, I think if you are a registered voter, you have a right to access your MPs, and you can do that in a number of different ways. We could start a petition. They don't seem to listen to those. Oh, where's my chair? They don't seem to listen to those very well. You could call every one of your elected officials and tell them that you're against the school of opulence. You know, we want Cayman Brac to have a nice school, but this is really overkill, if you will. So I think that there are ways to express yourselves and to protest. And I think Cayman Brackers themselves, who said to me that they're not in favor of the school either, the most important thing that they can do is maybe look very, very closely at the options that you may have going into the next election to see if we can't get a new representative for the BRAC. Someone says, Sandy, you think that the ministers would do that and cut themselves short of that 2 months pay? Well, you know, if they're doing it for the benefit of the country, you know, the people will recognize their contributions. And if they've been doing a relatively decent job, they should have no real fear of getting reelected, right? So they'll be back in. I'm just saying. And if they don't get back in, they still get 3 months worth of severance. Okay, let me see. All right, let me see. Someone says, good morning. A rabbit is a rodent as well. Emergency. Yes, I think that's the one that I've got that I'll be taking. You got to be careful, though, because the body doesn't really absorb excess vitamin C. So taking too much of it doesn't do you any good. And then the thing about it is that it can actually upset your stomach if you're doing high doses of vitamin C. So I think some of them claim that they have like 1,000 milligrams or whatever. And you know what you need more than vitamin C to starve off colds and stuff? Well, the best thing to do, these supplements don't cut it, is just eat an orange, eat something citric. But, you know, high dose of vitamin C can give you like heartburn, even headaches and skin flushing and stuff like that, and diarrhea, vomiting. So you got to be careful with it. But what you really need is zinc. Zinc is the thing that helps you with colds. When you start to feel a little sniffle here and there, boost up your zinc levels and have some raw garlic. Just take it, like cut it up, take a little piece, cut it up like a tablet, and just swallow it whole with water. All right, Colin is listening all the way from Salford, Manchester. Colin, big up yourself. Kim Mannion in Manchester, studying to be a pilot. We love it. Michelle LeMay says, good morning, Sandy and everyone on our beloved Cayman Islands. I have a question. With all the rain predicted and potential flooding, is the Circus Rotary still going on this weekend? Hello. Tell me something. Where is this weather coming from? Last night, oh my gosh, the wind was whipping up all over the place. I could not believe it. Let me find out. Let me ask them. Let me ask the question. All right, I'll try to find out because, yeah, this weather is no bueno. It is crazy out there. And I do have some tickets to give away to the event as well. I was hoping it was this weekend because then I could go, but if it's not, then I don't know. I think people went last night though, right? Let me see. I don't know why my okay, I'm gonna send them this as a question. My monitor is always like flickering. It's like it's adjusting or something. It's very annoying. I gotta figure out how to make that stop doing that. All right, let's see here. Okay, I'm sending off the question, and as soon as I get an answer, I'll let you guys know. All right, so I'm assuming you guys heard the memo yesterday about Tim Hortons. They were in the dark. Somebody messaged me, "Oh my God, Sandy, they're in the dark." And I said, well, yes, they have not been open, although they've been trying to be accommodating to people. But they just could no longer do it with the tech issues that they're having. So they had to fly in some technicians from the States to try to get the problem sorted out. So hopefully they'll have it sorted out fairly quickly, and they can get back to serving y'all whatever it is that you're eating. Because they do have some wraps and sandwiches and stuff as well. It's not just donuts. And my friend loves their bagels. She says that their bagels have no preservatives in them. And so they have a reputation for making like the best, healthiest bagels that you can get. Although when it comes to health, a bagel is not really the best option either, because bagels have little nutritional value. They taste good, but it's just you're carb loading and there's nothing in a bagel. It fills up your belly and then half an hour later, you're still hungry. All right. Sandra says no matter what we all say, the government, no matter what we all said here, the government will do whatever they want. That is where you are relinquishing your power and you don't understand how powerful the people are. Listen, Sandra, I can point out numerous times when the people have spoken and your voices have made a difference. Never say that you have no power. This is your country. You guys are the voters. You have all the power in the world. Take, for example, the reset thing with the credit union. Yeah? Shout out to the credit union. They started to galvanize their members and their resources, and they were complaining, and we were talking about it. Guess what? Y'all saw how quickly Julie responded to that? How quickly she jumped up and said, oh, no. I don't know what the minister's doing. I'm not supporting this. She well knew what the minister was doing, by the way, for the record. Don't make her fool y'all. And so, yes, she jumped up quick time. They're not going to do that again. Everybody's, oh my gosh, we're so sorry. They listen. Maybe you guys are not speaking loud enough, right? Because that's $50 million worth of voices over there in that corner. And you're not speaking loud enough to her. Every one of you, every time you see her out somewhere, you should ask her, with respect, of course, ma'am, why are you building this school? Why? And she might start to get the picture, because right now, in her head, she's thinking that this is one or two people that don't want her school and that don't want her as premier. Maybe we need to make it crystal clear, because she is a little bit on the delusional side, as we can see from the things that she says about Radio Cayman all the time. About, they serve the need of the people. We're over here in our little corner like, really? Do you really think that? It's like, you can't be serious. And there's things that she says all the time that makes me think that she lives in a slightly different altered universe. She's got an AI version all to herself that the rest of us do not have access to. Vicky says, well, October is known to be a stormy month. It is. And the wind is sure kicking up. But you know what? I would rather have this than a hurricane, than a Cat 5, a Cat 4. So, let's just hold it down. Have you seen that video about Kim and Brack? I can't say that word right now on the radio. Let me put it this way. Adult house, but they raised prices. Well, first of all, I didn't know Cameron Brack had one of those, so that's news to me. So I need to find out what the real stuff is going on in the Brack. They look like they're I expected them to be good little Christians over there in Cameron Brack, but it sounds like they're going on with the most. So people sent me the video. Miss Carrie Horick Tibbetts did this video, apparently, where she's talking about this. I have not yet had an opportunity to, Abby says, hold that one for 9:30. I haven't had an opportunity to actually listen to it, because when people were sending it to me, I was like picking up my daughter. We were in the car. And I know anytime Carrie does a video, she's like Mr. McKeever there from the Brat. you can't listen to that in company, if you know what I mean, especially the company of children, because it is bound to have a number of expletives in it. And so I have gotten it numerous times. I haven't yet had a chance to listen to it because I probably can't even have Zeus in the room when I play that, honey child, because Zeus' ears going to be like, what did you just, what, who said what? So I got to listen to that when I'm by myself, or I got an earbuds or something. So, yeah. Yep. All right. Everyone getting the cola. So they're going to increase the, oh my God. She's a legend in her own mind and for real. Thank you, Ja, for the rain. They're going to branch off and become their own republic, sounds like. Oh my God. Mm-hmm. All right. Let me see. Oh, tropical mode. Yeah, where there's a lot of rain on that map, honey child, all over us. Yep. I see it. There's a potential storm brewing out of this system. Yeah. Oh, really? Well, the good news is hopefully by the time it develops into anything, it'll be moving away from us. That's the good part when they start. Good morning. Did you request an FOI in the report on the School of Opulence? Which report? Can't the governor force her to reveal it? What exactly can the governor do? Let me send that to the governor's office. Because the fact that you guys asked this question, I think, is important because it means that you don't actually know what the governor does, except showing up to events and maybe cutting a few ribbons. So, yeah. All right. So a person said to me in relation to the circus, yes, the show goes on. Tickets are selling out and 2 shows tomorrow are already full. So they said a little bit of rain, not gonna stop it. Oh, yes, my goodness. I forgot Minister Andre Ebanks earlier when I was talking about cabinet members. Thank you. All right. So let me pull up a little thing here. Where's Johan today? Y'all miss him? My goodness. I know that she's refused to release the business case for it, and I don't know. El Ray, you are so bad. I don't know who can force her to do that, but So thank you for sending in this little map. Look at the system that is over us that has the potential for development. Look at all that rain, honey child. So please be safe. Kids are out of school next week, right? So y'all shouldn't be complaining. Actually, I think they were out of school yesterday and today for professional development days as well. And then they get their half-day break. So the traffic shouldn't be too bad. And hopefully you guys are also going to just be careful on the roadway. Gabby says maybe the purpose of building the school is in hopes of growing the population over there on the BRAC. Well, that's ridiculous because the Brackers don't want that. I'm just saying, is she listening to the people? Brackers love the fact that Cayman Brac is small and a little bit sleepy at times. Damien says maybe attract more offshore offices or businesses to the BRAC for families. Well, the problem with that is the rest of the infrastructure isn't really designed for no whole pile of people in Cayman Brac. So you're going to build a school and then do what? You know, what about the hospital, the roads and other stuff? I mean, let's leave Cayman Brac as is, really, as pristine and untouched as possible. Andrew says civil servants who've retired or on the eve of retirement cannot afford to live on the pensions, but a premier is building a $75 million school that they cannot, and they cannot feed their families. Hotels bringing people from Europe to work for minimum wage and have a hard time surviving. What a hot mess. Jonathan, Says we had a pretty strong downburst off of Walker's Road at about 4 a.m. this morning. Patio chairs went flying all over the place. What? Really? Huh. And Anthony says that Cayman Brac is fornication nation. It is? Why didn't I know this? I mean, how many times you can take your spouse to the Brac Reef to eat there as nowhere to go and nothing to do? Anthony's logic. Everyone over there is bored. So anytime there is new ladies or a new man on island, everyone is with everyone. Is that what it is? Boredom leads to fornication nation. Lord have mercy. I hope not. But is it that bad over there? I had no clue. Colin says it rains almost all the time in Manchester. Poor you. Missing your Caribbean sun. He said the only difference is that there's no potential flooding warnings up here. Live happy. Good morning. Please remember to review the paper with us unless I've missed it. Review which paper? Oh, I am Sandy. I mean, Strong Will, having a little sausage and potatoes this morning. Oh, listen, I don't know which paper, so let me know which paper you're talking about. But Julian says, how big? And I think Cayman Brac is. Okay, let's answer this question. Hold on now. I almost forgot about this. I do want to answer this. This is a question that someone sent me yesterday. Let me pull up the question now. Hold on. So this person said, all right, let me show you all this question. And it's a question that I've had before. And because there's a bit of misinformation, I think, around it, it's an important question to answer. And I did reach out to an HR professional who sent me the law. So let's pull this all up here this morning and get this answered. So the question is this. It relates to vacation time, and the only people that seem to be a little bit confused about it are domestic workers. So domestic workers say, this person says, good morning. This was yesterday morning. Just a quick question. My helper's here telling me that I need to pay her for her vacation the day before she goes on vacation. I'm like, no, that's not how it works. You take your vacation and you get the same amount at the end of the month as if you came to work that week, even though you're taking off a week. So yes, I've spoken to a number of people about this, and I don't know why people, is there a different system in Jamaica? Do you get paid in addition to your time when you take a vacation? I don't really know, but that's not how vacation works. So to be clear, when we talk about paid vacation, and let me just pull up what the law says, because of course we operate within those parameters. And I want to make sure that you guys properly understand what the employment law says. We're talking about part 3 that deals with leave. This person actually copied and pasted it as opposed to just sending me the law. Hold on one second. You know, all of the laws, folks, are available online. So you can go and get your copy. It's there for everybody to see. So right now we're dealing with the Cayman Islands Labor Act 2021 revision. You can find this, folks, under legislation.gov.ky. And every single piece of legislation in the Cayman Islands is available there for free. So if you need a law, if you're unsure, that's where you can go and have a look at it, okay? So let's go ahead and bring up the legislation and we can look at this. It's a little bit of it is logical, but I think for some reason, like I said, I don't know if there's a different system in Jamaica in terms of how this works, why people, and I always hear it in relation to domestic workers particularly. So that's why I'm questioning why they're confused about it. Is it because they have something different in Jamaica that they were operating under, okay? But let's go now to the labor law. I'm going to pull it up here on the screen so that you guys can see exactly what the labor law says in relation to leave. All right, so get your copy of the labor law. If you're an employer and employee, it's good to have these things handy and available. So there's the law. And now we're going to go to section, hold on one second, let me just bring it up. It is Part 2, leave, which is section 13 and 14. All right. So you guys know how to read laws and stuff, right? They always tell you at the first couple pages, we learn this kind of stuff in law school. They always set the foundation about publishing details, how it was originally enacted. So it was first, the labor law was first enacted as law number 30 of 1987. That's when y'all first got labor law. And then it shows you all the different laws that were enacted in relation to that. So law 18 of 1989, 93, 95, and so on. 2020 being the last revision for the last enacted law. So then they have regulations from 1992, and regulations are supplement to the legislation. So they come, you have to read them in conjunction with the legislation, basically. Then you have the what's called the arrangement of sections. And normally, if you open this and it's a PDF document, you can click on the title here. And let me just, I'm trying to make it so you guys can see it, but not quite that big. So if you click on the title here, it'll take you to that. So there's always a definition. There's a short title, and then there's always a definition section with all accompanying legislation to help you in interpreting, like this means this, etc. Right? All right. So this is part 1. Part 2 is all about the different types of leave. So as you can see, you've got application of leave provisions, section 13, vacation leave, leave as it relates to part-time employees, public holiday pay, sick leave pay, and maternity leave. So if we want to go straight to vacation leave, we can click on that and bam, it takes us to this section of the law. So let's read it together, class. All right, so subject to section 15. So, you know, a lot of times they'll say that. And sometimes you have to scroll down and say, well, what does section 15 actually say? What does section 15 say? Well, if we scroll down, section 15 is about part-time employees. So it's saying subject to that, okay? So subject to the bit on part-time employees, so basically that's going to be the exception, right? Every employee to whom this part applies shall be entitled to, and that person's employer shall give that person earned vacation leave with pay of the number of working days that is necessary if taken in an unbroken period to give that person at least a period of earned leave in each 12-month period of employment, which is specified in respect of each such period in subsection 3. All that is a little bit confusing, but what it essentially means, folks, is that you are entitled to vacation pay, and you will get it. And then we're going to talk about the entitlement here in a second, but that you are going to get it in accordance with this section of the law. You don't have to get it all at one time. So there are people who might take a vacation day here or there, and cumulatively you add it up. But it does say that it equates to the same thing if you had taken an unbroken period to give that person at least the same amount of vacation earned. So if you want to take 3 days here, another 2 days here, like when you put it all together, if it equals your 2 weeks, that counts. Okay. So it says, provided that the entitlement to earn vacation leave under this subsection shall only arise when the employee has completed the 12-month period of employment to which it relates. So this is important because a lot of people come in and they're like, okay, I'm in the 3rd month of my employment contract and I want to start taking vacation. But the law plainly states that the entitlement to vacation leave comes after you've completed a year of employment, 12 months. Okay. Now, when it comes to the payment of it, right? So you're entitled to paid vacation. There seems to be some confusion about how the paid vacation works. So it tells you about the minimum annual leave, and they do it based on your length of employment. Okay, so if you've not exceeded 4 completed years, you get 2 weeks. If you've completed 4 years but not exceeding 10 completed years, you're entitled to 3 weeks. And then if you've gone over 10 years, you get 4 weeks. Now, some offices, some businesses do give you more than that, but this is the minimum entitlement that you are entitled to by law. Now, earned vacation. It talks about, that you can't, it says earned vacation leave shall be above and beyond and shall not include any public holiday leave as provided for by Section 16, any sick leave as provided for by Section 17, or any daily or weekly non-work periods as provided for by Section 23. So again, just clearly defining what the period is. And then the dates are fixed by agreement between the employer and the employee, because there's some employers who will tell you they have blackout periods where you cannot take vacations around like holidays and stuff like that. And if you agree to it, then it is what it is. Now, it does say in Section 7 that by mutual agreement, the employer may advance vacation leave not yet earned, but that's a matter for the employer. It's not something that you as the worker are guaranteed or that you are entitled to. So you can't be rolling up on people, well, you need to give it to me. No, if they want to give it to you, they can advance you the days that are not yet earned. All right. It talks about getting it in lieu of pay, right? So here's the thing that's really, really important, because now it starts to talk about the rate of pay, how you can do that, if you're going to do it in lieu of pay, etc. Here's the thing. When you get your holiday pay and you go on vacation, so you get your 2 weeks, if you say you take a week here, right? You were paid for that week. So when your employer hands you your salary, you should still be getting the full amount that you would have gotten. There would be no deductions. That's your pay. So I know people confused because they think, oh, I'm supposed to be getting paid extra money for the week. No, it's not extra, right? So you get the same salary that you've gotten before, and that is your pay because they didn't deduct it from your pay. Do y'all understand? I mean, I don't know. Like I said, people seem to get it confused, but if they had deducted it from your pay, that would be unlawful because they can't make any deductions. That's why it's called paid. So it's already paid if they give you your full salary. So whatever your normal pay period is, if they give that to you as normal, then you were paid for it. You don't get paid extra for vacation. So Tanisha says maybe the helper wanted her vacation pay before leaving to have extra spending money. I doubt she's trying to start a legal situation. A misunderstanding between employer and employee at best. Well, these misunderstandings have to be ironed out. Like people have to understand, generally speaking, and this is where I think DLP and other such agencies that have legislation that impacts everybody that works in this country. If you're here on a work permit, or even if you're not on a work permit, the labor law impacts you. They need to do a better job of educating the people and explaining these things to people so that they can fully understand what entitlements they have under the law. And something as simple as this, everybody in Cayman should understand how vacation leave and stuff works. So it's unusual. I mean, your pay period is set, between you and the employer. And if your employer normally pays you like the first of the month, the end of the month, the middle of the month, even when you take vacation, that's not going to change. They're not going to change your pay period. Again, if the employer, I guess, chooses to do so, if their budget can accommodate it or whatever. But normally most people will stick to the same pay period. You see, in December, the Cayman's government tends to pay like a week or two early. They can accommodate that, but not every employer is in a position to do that. They continue to pay you in line with your vacation. So it's smart that when you take your vacation, that you take it knowing when you're going to get paid, Tanisha, if you're going to need that money in order to take vacation. It's quite as simple as that. Good morning, caller.
Morning.
Morning.
Oh, sorry.
Hi.
So, just calling about I heard you say about, they need to do a better job of educating the public and so forth.
Mm-hmm.
So I was listening to Radio Cayman yesterday, and
is Radio Cayman paying you to constantly come on here and talk about the fact that you're listening to them?
No. But I wanted to say, so I listened to them, and the labor and pension people were on there. So they're having a training session. But guess what? Hold on. But you have to pay $75 for it. So they're having training, but you have to pay for it. So they're getting creative now with how they make money. Fun time.
This is government. So you're paying government to tell you how the law works?
That is my understanding, that they're having a training session about the labor law, and it's $75 to register. So yeah, explain to me. It doesn't make sense to me either. That's why I called, because I'm like, they are providing training. However, you got to pay for it.
Wow. All right. That's madness.
All right.
That does not make much sense. But
Nope.
yeah, I mean, public education, I'm making fun of her because at least the last 5 times she's called in, she's like, I was listening to Radio Cayman. I was like, okay. El Rey says you get paid even though you didn't do any work to earn it. We do have a caller who is trying to call in. Let me see if I can call him back. I understand we may soon be getting a toll-free number, honey child. Hold on. Good morning. Are you trying to call the show? Hello? Oh, somebody was calling me on the other number, but I don't know if they can hear me. Hello, good morning.
Good morning. I was calling to actually disagree with the point that it's the government's responsibility to educate the persons who come and reside here. If I go and I move to Tokyo,
yes,
right? It is not Tokyo's government's responsibility to educate me on the laws of their country. It is my responsibility to investigate and find out what the laws of Tokyo's country is. And as far as there are various resources throughout the island. There's a chamber, there is the government workshops, and there's lots of these different agencies that do provide workshops on various laws that affect employment in the Cayman Islands. And we cannot expect government to do everything for free. People need to take responsibility for their own lives. There is no such thing as a free lunch. And that's my point. Thank you.
All right. Thank you so much. Well, I take the point, but I still think I agree with the caller to some extent. But I also think that things that impact our lives, and all of us, like I said, are impacted by the labor law in one way or another. It would be in everybody's best interest for everyone to be well versed on the labor law. And people do it, governments across the world do it in relation to immigration laws, what you can and can't bring in. Like when you go through the airport, you see signage about, okay, you can't do this. You can't use your phone. I mean, little public notices. I think there's nothing wrong with that. And I think in a world of, we all live in social media. People have access to these videos and whatever. It's not going to hurt the government to set aside some of their budget for public awareness and campaigns. But you know what the government will do, to that caller's point, is they will send it out to media and expect media to do their educating for them and to basically issue their press releases on their behalf. And that's one way in which they say, okay, well, we're educating the public. Did you read our press release? Which normally those press releases are too long and too boring and people don't read them. Strong Will says some of us Caymanians still don't know the labor law. But the caller is right. It is ultimately, Dacia says, I totally agree with the caller. It is ultimately your responsibility, because in law, there is no excuse for being ignorant of the law. So if you break the laws, you can't go and show up in magistrate's court, summary court, or grand court and said, well, I didn't know the law said X, Y, Z. The court isn't going to care about your knowledge or lack thereof, right? There's a presumption that, again, right, what the caller said, if you live in a country, you have an obligation to know what the laws of that country are. Same thing with all the people coming here, bringing their gummy bears and marijuana and everything else. And they come and they go, oh, I thought this was California where I could smoke whatever I want. And it's like, no, this isn't California. But would it harm you? Just like I told you last year when we were going to Greece in the airport, they kept making announcements on at the airport to please know that in Greece, no firearms. If you have firearms in your carry-on luggage, you need to let us know now so that we can assist you with that. It is against the law and comes with a significant penalty, right? So doing public service announcements and stuff, I think that, those things are not a bad idea because government can sure find ways to spend our money that really doesn't benefit us. So why not public education here, there, and everywhere? Good morning, caller.
Morning again. I'm going to talk about Radio Cayman again. No, I'm just kidding. I'm screaming.
Oh my gosh.
I agree to a certain extent with the last caller too about our responsibility.
Yes.
But the average person does not know how to read laws and interpret them.
Well,
so it's up to us to go and seek the information, right? But if we need clarity, if we have questions or whatever, then what? And yes, I agree if you're coming here or whatever, but the labor law doesn't just affect people that are moving here. It affects Caymanians as well.
Yeah. Without a doubt. I think it's something that, and like I said, there's certain areas like employment, tenancy laws and stuff, doing general education around these to make sure that people are compliant. I don't think that it takes a whole lot to do it, and it could save a lot of confusion and even lawsuits and all kind of stuff if people knew exactly, what they were doing. So,
yep. Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you so much. So, yeah, I think there's a little bit of, for sure, the caller is absolutely right from a strict perspective that people should know the law. But this caller is also right that the law can be confusing. Sometimes you read something, you're like, what? What did that say? I don't understand it. And so, there's that as well. 93626. Somebody keeps calling me on the other number. Hold on. Oh, hold 1 second for me, caller. I didn't have my headset in. That's why I couldn't hear you. All right, hold on. Good morning. Are you trying to call the show, honey child? 936-2626. That's the show number. Yes. 936-2626. No problem at all. Thank you too. All right. Y'all be still calling the personal number. When I answered it earlier, I forgot I had the headsets in. I need my little sitting chair this morning. My poor feet. I had my TENS machine on last night. My poor feet were bothering me as well. So, I know that's going to be a source of discomfort when I travel because it always is. So I'll take all my foot rubs and massage devices and everything else to see how we get on. Duplicate. I'm still trying to figure out. I'm writing it up. 1 second, honey chair. I got to do a quick deposit. I hardly do these deposits anymore because most people just pay stuff online. Praise the Lord for online payments. But every once in a while, somebody gives me a bank check. Let's see. Today is the 18th of October. So I got to write this up. And CNB changed the way they do their drafts, their bank checks a couple years ago now. So you got to make sure you get it right. The book's changed. Bank/check number. All right. Which bank is this? This is Scotiabank. I just put Scotia. Check number. All right. Dollar amount. Not as much as it should be. Or not as much as it should be. Not as much as I would like it to be. I wish I was depositing $1 million check right now. Totals. Okay. That's it. All right, Miss Stacy. This one is ready. All right, Miss Stacy. You can come on through, honey child. All right. Hit the nail on the head. They need to explain these things in layman's terms using a language that can relate to or maybe in patois for the Jamaican community, Tagalog for Pinoys, etc. When you do contact them, they do explain it, but using the same terminology, and verbiage in the laws/acts. The slips are in the car for the pharmacy. Yeah, just take. Oh, I'll send you some money. Where's my phone? Yeah. You need any groceries as well? I'll send you some money for groceries.
Do I have to bring back Zeus?
Yes, bring them back, because if you take them west, we can't get wet. Morning, caller.
Good morning. I just want to talk about the vacation leave thing that you were talking about just now.
All right, honey.
I have a question because I'm going through something like that personal now with my employment.
Okay. Yes.
So I've worked for companies other than them. They came up with some weird rules that I don't agree with, but maybe you can help me.
Okay.
I started working October. I would say like in 2022. I'm not entitled for vacation until my 1 year, correct?
That's correct.
Okay, so
When did you start working?
October of 2022 for the company.
All right. So after October of 2023, you're entitled then for the 2 weeks related to that first year.
Yes, I got that vacation for 2023.
Yes. Okay.
So saying now for 2024, they're saying that I can't get vacation until October come again. And I'm like, why can I not go on vacation? Because as far as I know, you're entitled to your 2 weeks within the year. What they're saying to me is that their 1 year period is from the day I started to the next following year. So say, for instance, I wanted to go vacation this year in August. They denied me vacation and said that I don't have any vacation until October. When I started work, I say the 18th of October today, in 2022, they're saying that I can't get vacation until October come, and then I'm entitled for my 2 weeks vacation. Which to me, I know it's weird. I even got labor law involved in it. I even called them and asked questions, and they told me it doesn't go like that, that I am entitled to my vacation, and I should make a complaint or something like that, they were saying. But I didn't go forward with it. But maybe you can probably help me with a situation that I'm in.
All right. So the law says, and unless your contract says something differently, and it shouldn't, because what is set out in the labor law is like the minimum standards. So people can't contract out of what the labor law says in most instances. There's a couple exceptions, right? So this lays down the foundation. They can give you additional benefits, but they should at least try to stick to the minimum of what the labor law says. So the labor law says that the entitlement to earn vacation leave under this subsection shall only arise when the employee has completed the 12-month period of employment to which it relates. It doesn't say, and I think your employer is actually correct in this instance, it doesn't say after the first year, then you can take it kind of whenever. It specifically says when the employee has completed the 12-month period of employment to which it relates. So if you started in October of 2022, October of 2022 to October of 2023, that was 1 year, right? After October of 2023, so after your 12-month period, you get your 2 weeks vacation for that first 12 months. From October of 2023 to October of 2024 is year number 2. So that's another 12 months. So after October, then you are entitled to take vacation for that 12-month period. Most employers are not as stickler for it. So I think what employers will do, because they kind of presume that there's an assumption that I guess if you're a good worker and your contract of employment is continuing, they'll just almost prorate you the time in a way where you can take it in the current calendar year. But they're keeping track of it now. So to be frank, if anything happens in relation to your employment, it's terminated, you cease it, whatever, then there might be some adjustments that need to be made. So you may owe them money, or they may owe you money for untaken leave, et cetera, et cetera. But I think the employer is actually correct based on what the law says.
Okay. All right. Thank you so much.
You're most welcome. And I'm curious as to what the Labor Department actually told you. So they told you that the employer was wrong?
Yes, they did. Because they said to me, how I explained everything, and I told them, my situation, and I've been working 3 years now for the company, and when I took vacation, he said that I am correct. Because I've worked with other companies, and it was never I never had a problem with someone denying me vacation when I know I'm actually entitled to it. So what they explained to me is that, all right, a new year starts. January will be considered as a new year by labor law. That's what they told me. So even if I took my vacation in 2023, January of 2024 will be considered as a new year, and I'm still entitled to take my vacation from January to December for 2024. If I decide I want to go August, it shouldn't be a problem because they said I'm still entitled to my 2 weeks, 10 days vacation. And my employer was telling me, no, I have to wait till October. And, it was really, I thought I was getting croaked, but based on what you're saying, I totally agree. I see. Well, I guess they're correct then. I just want to make sure that I wasn't being, neglected.
Yeah, of course. And it's not, I mean, to be clear, it's not what I'm saying. It's what the law says that matters. But the problem is a lot of times we don't always read the law, or sometimes we read it and we simply don't understand it. It's like a foreign language, right? But this seems to be pretty crystal clear in the law. It specifically says, and it doesn't say after your first year, you're able to take it, whatever. It specifically says in section 14, that it says, provided that the entitlement to earn vacation leave under this section shall only arise when the employee has completed the 12-month period of employment to which it relates. That's pretty clear. So that is why, you get it. But again, most people, are not going to. So I think your employers are just being really, really sticklers for the law, which obviously they're entitled to do so. But a lot of people tend to be a little bit more flexible. And then, like I said, if something happens and somehow the employee-employment relationship is terminated, then they would make the necessary adjustments at the end.
Okay, thanks so much for your help, Sandra.
You're most welcome. All right. And listen, you know how easy it would be for our government to do a little segment on this, explaining it to people like that caller said. We have a lot of Jamaican workers here. We have a lot of Filipino workers here, different people, try to break it down so that people can understand it, because I have a law degree and there are times I read legislation. I'm like, what's that legislation saying? It's not always crystal clear because the people who write it, it's almost like they're writing it for other lawyers. They're not writing it for the layperson, and it can get pretty confusing. Now, somebody sent me something here in relation to the Jamaican legislation and Jamaica's leave laws and holidays. And I think this is pretty standard across the board, So for vacation pay, you get 2 weeks of paid vacation leave per year. So employees in Jamaica are entitled to 2 weeks, and that's the same thing here. And then it says after 10 years of continuous service, employees receive 3 weeks of paid leave. Now, I must admit that our law is actually a little bit better than that, because you get a 3-week entitlement here in the Cayman Islands after, let me just screenshot this for you. You get your 3-week entitlement after 4 years. And in Jamaica, you have to work 10 years in order to get the minimum by law. So that's kind of interesting. Yeah. So Cayman is a smidgen better than what you would get in Jamaica in terms of your entitlement. So that breaks down again. Keep in mind that this is a minimum annual entitlement. Let me see what else Jamaica says here. They say that this leave policy is similar to the one in Canada. Really? But guarantees more than a no vacation nation like the US. The US is a no vacation nation? Really? I don't know about that, but okay. Accrual. So employees begin to accrue vacation leave after being employed for 110 days. So their laws in Jamaica are a little bit different about how it's accrued. So 110 days, and in a period of an employee's work week, between 110 and 220 days, they receive 1 day of vacation leave for every 22 days of work. Oh, wow. They kind of make it complicated. They start to overcomplicate your life when you have to be doing that level of calculations as opposed to just saying, a 12-month period of time. So that is what, about 4 months, depending if the month has 30 or 31 days, 110 days. All right. Employees accrue vacation leave during the year, and they're allowed to use it in the following year. So Jamaica has the exact same provision in that. So you accrue it in a given year and you use it in the following year. And this is the default scenario, but an employer and an employee can have different arrangements that would allow employees to use their vacation time in the same year that it is accrued. And that's normally what happens. So that caller, what's different with this employer for her is this employer isn't doing it that way. And, strictly by law, the employer is correct. They don't have to do it that way because the law says your entitlement to it is for the following year, not the year in which it is accrued. So, but most people are not really, most employers are not that panicky about it. But some companies do accrued while others do it in lieu. So, okay, let's talk about this concept of in lieu, right? Some people, subsection 9, so this is section 14, subsection 9 talks about this, how you can do it in lieu of. There are people who will say, you know what, I don't need to take a full 2 weeks, maybe I'll only take a week or whatever. And they will instead, and the employer doesn't mind it, they want them to continue working. So they will pay you in lieu of the vacation that you would have taken. So subsection 9 says that an employer, let me just show it to you here. Yes. So an employer shall not compel an employee to forego the taking of earned vacation leave, even though that person pays or offers to pay in lieu thereof, and in addition to the employee's normal wage. The wage the employee would have received had that person taken the leave. So in other words, when it talks about this potential of doing it in lieu of, you can do it, but it says the employer shall not compel an employee to forego the taking of earned vacation leaves. In other words, they can't force you to not take your vacation leave. Okay? And you see subsection 7, it goes on to say the same thing, which directly speaks to that previous caller's situation. It says by mutual agreement, the employer may advance vacation leave not yet earned. Caller, you got to turn down your radio when you call in, honey child.
Can I find my remote, Sandra?
Oh my gosh. What's your question?
I'll call you back. Call you back.
All right. Yeah. You got to turn it off, honey child. All right. So, if the employer doesn't want to take, the employee, doesn't want to take it, I suppose. That's possible, but you can't force them. And then it talks about what happens at termination. Good morning, caller.
Yeah, morning, Miss Sandy. How are you today?
Morning, not bad, dear. How are you?
Oh, that black suits you off. Is that black? Is that the black dress?
You know what? It's one of those things that was hidden in my closet, but since I'm clearing out my closet, it's actually a combination of black and gray.
Well,
it's a very interesting pattern, but yeah, I sure didn't know what I got.
Yeah, well, you look nice.
Thank you, my dear. Thank you so much.
Just don't keep going to that new donut place there where you was the other day, because you won't fit in that dress.
Well, this is a talk, but yeah, so I'm not much of a donut person, I'll be honest with you. So I think we're safe from Tim Hortons.
Yeah. Miss Sandy, I want you to see if you can tell me the labor law with I know somebody that has worked 9
years for a company, and the company is telling them this just only still have 2 weeks, 2 weeks vacation, and I thought that after X amount of years, the vacation time would increase.
Yes,
That's
it
just one
does. It does.
one
All right,
question.
so let me go
Okay,
through that
and
again.
the next thing is, Miss Sandy, we are in. It's a lot of corruption in Cayman. I'm sad to say so. This is my home. This is your home. But the reality is, it's a lot of corruption going on in this island in some of the government entities. I understand that someone get a visa for you, to visit, and when the time is up, you go to the person and say, Miss Sandy, I'd like to stay another month or so. And you say, yeah, I can get you another month, but you got to pay me $1,500. I mean, and it is happening. It is reality.
You mean people paying for their work permits?
No. This is not work permit. This is a visa extension.
What visa are you talking about?
A visitor's visa, which is for $100. But I go to you because you were the one that got the visa for me to visit. So I'm visiting, the visa is like for 90 days, but after that, I won't spend another month or so.
They're not really visiting you then. They're here. Because isn't there some responsibility when you put that person's information down as, okay, almost like you're their guarantor or whatever when you come to visit?
Yeah. But a lot of people after the 90 days, they want to spend a little more time. And I understand that it's $100 for an extension, for a visa extension. But the people like if you get it out for me, you want to charge me $1,500 to get it out. And, it's terrible. I mean, we don't have no heart. It's all about money. How much money do we want? I just borrowed some money to come here to visit the island, but I have enough to stay for an extra month or something like that. Or I got friends that say, well, okay, we'll help you out for another month to visit with us because it's your first time. But then because you're the one that took out the visa for me, you charge me $1,500. That's not right, Sandra, we got a lot of corruption in this island, and it's getting worse and worse every day. And we ain't gonna get rid of it because the island has expanded too much with so much different nationalities in it. I also understand from good source that we got gang members from other countries in the island, but they only come out after the sunset in the evening. Be very careful in Cayman. The gang members from Central America, from India, from different parts of the world, right here in Cayman. And I have beaten the horse with this fingerprinting system, and the government do not want it. Mr. McLean, Gilbert McLean, told me some years ago they had one, but they never got it set up or anything. Even third world countries, you have fingerprinting system, but not here. I mean, one time Dr. Matthew said, yeah, we got fingerprint system. The police, yeah, I know that. I was a police. I know we got fingerprint system, but we don't have none at the airport or we don't have none at the ports. And even that they can beat now. The criminals can beat the fingerprinting system.
When you say the police have a fingerprinting system, I have a question here, but we probably need to get back to the labor questions. But do the police have a database that they can search if they find a fingerprint?
Well, that's another thing. I don't know.
They're not a fingerprinting system. I don't know what that would be.
I don't know. But they fingerprint you when you.
Yeah, but that's not the same thing as having a fingerprinting system. That's just collecting your biometric stuff. But all right. Well, thank you, caller.
Yeah, but we need to need to wake up in Cayman because we're sleeping. We're sleeping. Thank you.
Thank you, my dear.
And don't be too long on your vacation, you know.
2 weeks. I'll be back. I talked to the boss and she approved me for 2 weeks.
That kind of long too, but anyhow, let's how suffer with that. We'll have a lot of pile up on you when you get back to deal with.
Yes, that's for sure. Thank you. I appreciate it. Yeah, I'm taking my 2 weeks, honey child. I earned it last year and I'm taking it. All right. So his first question, which is very, very important. Someone been working over 4 years. They're actually by law entitled to 3 weeks vacation. Now, there's some jobs, like I said, they can always give you more than the minimum set up by the labor law, but they can't give you less than. So if they're telling her after 4 or 5 years of employment that she's still only entitled to 2 weeks, that's against the labor law. Please have a look at section 14. Hold on. Let me give you the exact section here. I want y'all to, like I said, your employers take advantage of you because they know you don't know the law. So it falls under the same section in relation to vacation leave. Section 14, subsection 3 talks about the minimum entitlement of earned leave that is referred to. Good morning, caller.
Good morning.
Good morning,
How are you today?
Not bad. How you doing?
Good.
Mm-hmm.
I call because I really believe that the immigration, when they issue permits now, especially anything over a year, they should have a badge, like an ID for that person.
Mm-hmm.
I have been saying for years that I believe that there are many people that come here that we don't know who's in this island. That's why some of them will go on with their threats and go on with their badness because there's no record, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's why when they caught that one on the bypass down West Bay, the one that they end up shooting Jamaica, that's no surprise to me. I think we got a lot of them in here, not just Jamaica, all over, because the water's open and we don't have the proper security out there on the water. Yeah. So they come in and they're right here amongst us. That's why some crimes I'll never solve because there's no fingerprints on the database. So I think that if they pick up somebody that doesn't have an ID, they give them time or take them to their house and they have to prove it. They should give all and issue IDs to all.
How about
persons.
That national ID? That was a promise that hasn't come to fruition yet.
Yeah. Well, even if I know, and I remember that, but even if not, when they issue, if they even got to charge an extra $25 or something to the employer to issue an ID for the employee, I think that that's a safeguard. We're too small not to know who's in our country or the island. And we got so many that I believe is in there that we are not aware of. So this is something that we have to, and I don't know what to have to. This is something. All this school for all this $1 million and stuff.
$1 million? Try 75 million?
That's what millions of dollars.
Oh, okay.
That's what I should have said. Yeah. So imagine, right? I mean, every school, everywhere wants the upgrades, and Cayman Brac is just as much as Cayman is Georgetown, in Grand Cayman and Little Cayman, right? But the fact is, they need what they can use for now. If they want to leave the space to eventually add, because that's what people does. Most of the time they build sometime. They have an idea that later on they're going to construct further. So they leave the space. They already got the architect to design, and then they can actually put on the additional. For now, what will suffice for who's living there? Put on that. Do that. You want to get a swimming pool, do that. But these issues, what is the use of having a big old school and all of these things, and we're not safe? We don't even know who's in our country, right? I think they're priorities. And the next thing, like people ask me all the time, can you take a permit for somebody and I pay you? I said, I don't do that. I said, any person that I take a permit must be working for me.
That's the law.
And this is what we need to do. they need to take those that do it, arrest them, even more than the person that they did it for.
Yes.
Yeah? And charge them and make an example out of it. Because what has happened in our little island is that we got so many people not working. And the problem this has caused is higher rents. It has caused Cayman used to be out of job because most of the time what you could pay a foreigner, then the Caymanian needs more because they live here and they got the kids sometimes. The other person is coming. And nothing is wrong to look a better life. But we first need to look a life for those that is amongst us, right? And make sure they're taken care of because we're going to have robbers, thief, and the gangs. Yeah, because the gangs going to feel like they don't have nobody taking care of them or looking out for them. And I think it's time that we stand up for our island, our countries. There's too much going on in this little island that we call home. And those in authority is fine. Because guess what? They're living in their mansions. They got the nice cars. The kids is going to the good schools and all of this. What about the poor man? What about the middle class that is just making it? So we need to stop all of these people from coming because the people that come in and don't have a way of saying, okay, I'm here legal. They're going to take anything, because they just come to survive. Plus some of them come with guns and drugs and other things. Right? So we need to take heed. Let me tell you, if you see something, say something is what we're going to have to come to in Cayman. And hello?
Yes, ma'am. Thank you very much.
And the other thing, Sandy, what happened? I have this worker. One day he went to Foster's and he came back shaking like a leaf. And I said to him, what happened to you? He said, one of the baddest gunman from the area. And he said, that man is a murderer. He said, how much people? He said, you know what he said to me? If you open your mouth, everybody for you dead. Because I know you. And he said that man could never...
Did he tell you who he was? And were you able to report that gunman to police? You see, that's the problem right there.
Because he's threatened to kill his family.
Well,
right?
Other people who came out would be passing this man and know exactly who he is. So there are ways, if you really care about keeping Cayman safe, even as a visitor, there are ways to ensure that you can get the information to a trusted source. I'm just saying, but let me say this. We do have a lot of people here, and this is when we talk about, folks, the culture of, when we import people in from different cultures, how they operate in their communities where they remain silent because of fear of gunman and this and that and whatever, right? They bring that same cultural mentality here to our islands, and it's not something that's helpful. And it impacts all facets of our lives. Like I was saying the other day, in relation to even the Filipino community, they're a community that is very, very concerned about their reputation when they go overseas. And a lot of times what that means is that they are covering things up because they don't want to make their community look bad. And there are things that are happening. Abuses are happening with people in their own communities here in Cayman, and they keep it silent. They cover it up because, again, in their culture, their reputation is the most important thing, instead of doing the right thing legally and letting the system and the laws and the police handle some members of the community. But thank you, Miss Joyce Ann. I'll see you in 2 weeks.
Yes, another thing, I had a Filipino lady come, and you say Filipinos. I had one come to rent a place from me. So when she came, I had a 2-bed, 2.5 bath, and she said, can you take all the beds and stuff? I said, no, absolutely not. They're king-size beds, and they're not, and they're heavy, they're solid wood. Why would I do that? So she has a business, and she brings in Filipinos and put some different place to work. And then she put some in places. So this place was so big, she could put 8, 10. I said, no, sweetie. And you all need to stop doing that, because I said, you're going to charge them now. So I'm renting her. And
hopefully your contract says no subletting or bed space renting or whatever they call it.
Exactly. It does.
Good.
Yeah. So we got a lot of problems here, but hopefully we're going to change them one by one. Yeah.
Yes, ma'am.
So you have a good vacation.
Thank
Be careful.
You so much.
Enjoy yourself. You deserve it.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
All right, sweetie. Okay, bye-bye.
Bye-bye. All right, folks. So someone in the comment section was asking about oh yes, let's give her a kaboom. Oops. Oh, hold on. Kaboom! One of the things when I come back, I need to do is sort up my soundboard. All right, so someone was asking about hold on, let me find the question now. About what is it? Another form of pay. Workers' compensation. So let's have a look at what the law says about that. And hold on one second. Let me pull my law back up. Severance pay. Someone was also asking about the entitlement of severance pay after, I think it's 15 years. So hold on one second. Let's get to some of that. So Damien is saying, what about 10 sick days with pay? If you don't take the sick days, can you get that as added salary? I'm trying to remember how this one works now. I think there's something a little bit tricky about this one. Hold on. Sick pay. Let's go to see what the law says. So sick leave. All right. So this now is section 17 of the law. And I can't go into too much overtime because y'all know I'm traveling now. So I got to go and do my little packing. But to answer just a few more of these labor laws, since we're looking at this here today, Damien says, what about sick leave? All right. So we have, subject to this section, each employee is entitled to sick leave on work days or parts thereof during which that person is ill or otherwise physically incapacitated for work. Sick leave shall be taken only in connection with actual sickness or other physical incapacitation for work, evidence of which in the form of a doctor's certificate or other satisfactory means shall be furnished by the involved employee at any time upon request of the employer made under Section 5, and in any event in respect of the third and subsequent consecutive days of such leave. So in other words, it has to be related to illness. So some people will be like, oh, I have 10 sick days. I want to take it as like, oh, I just need a vacation day. I need, additional bereavement leave. I need study leave. It says here specifically that that's not what sick leave is about. Your 10 days allotment for sick leave is specifically for either being an actual illness or other physical incapacitation for work. And it also says that your employer can ask for evidence of that. And if they ask for the evidence, you have to provide it. But even if they don't ask for the evidence in any event in respect of the third and any subsequent consecutive days, so after 3 days, you have to provide it. Okay? Caller, you have a labor-related question this morning?
Good morning, honey child.
Good morning.
How are you?
I'm not too bad. Trying to keep it to labor though, because I got a couple more questions and then.
Well, I'm just in and out, and I'm just catching up. You were talking about law. I just have one question for you. Maybe you'll be able to steer me in the right direction. I put in 2 FOIs, one for the check that I put through where I was paid and didn't got work for, and for regarding funding for beautification, I put in 2 FOIs, and it has been over a month. It was from the 9th of September until now. I have not gotten any response. What's my next step? Who do I report to that I have not been replied to?
Okay. All right. Sorry, just say that again. You have requested FOI and you've not received the FOI?
I have not received anything from the report I sent in the 9th of September. Up to date, I have not received.
Did you receive an acknowledgement of your FOI request?
One of them, the one regarding the check that I was paid for the nice project the working for. Well, I got acknowledgement, and they sent it to the person who's supposed to respond back to me, and up to now nobody has responded.
All right. Well, what I would do is I would reply back to them again, because I believe they have a 30-day period in which they need to provide you with information, unless they come back and ask for an extension. So you need
it's over 30 days.
Yeah, you need to go back to them Remind them about your request and ask them directly, when can you expect to receive the FOI information? If they don't then respond to you, that's when you need to go to the ombudsman's office and file a complaint against that department or agency or whoever it is in government.
Okay, thank you very much.
You're welcome, honey child.
Don't stay overseas too long neither, you know, and I can't take you sometimes.
I'm entitled to my 2 weeks vacation. Yes, sir. All right. So section 17, sick leave, right? Talks about the doctor's certificate at subsection 3. Then we go on subsection 4, more about the doctor's certificate. So there's some very specific things about that. Let's go on to sick leave pay, which is section 18. For the first 10 days of sick leave taken during any period of 12 consecutive months, calculated from the date of commencement of employment and any anniversary date thereof, an employee shall be paid the basic wage which that person would have received had that person worked on those days. That's all it says about sick leave. For the first 10 days, you get paid for it. After that, you take it, you're not getting any pay. It does not say that if you don't use your sick leave, you should be paid anything extra. That's not quite how it works. If you don't use sick, it's not like an entitlement, like a positive entitlement, if that makes any sense, right? It's not like vacation. If you don't use it, then, you know, we need to talk about compensation or whatever. No. You don't use it, you lose it. Good morning, caller.
Good morning, Sandy.
Morning, dear.
I hear you talking about sick leave, and I've always seen an issue there.
Mm-hmm.
I think that they should let the employer take in a sick note after 2 days. And here the reason.
After 2 days?
After 2 days.
Instead of 3. Mm-hmm.
Well, it can be 3, but the problem
it is 3 by law, so that's what I'm wondering.
It says the employer can ask you for proof. No.
Yes.
If I come down with the flu,
mm-hmm.
there are remedies that I can take to deal with it and
mm-hmm.
not having to go to the doctor.
Yes.
A doctor's visit is essentially about $120.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of these workers are not earning $120 per day. So with the employer asking you for a sick note for that 1 day, it will want a person to come to work when they are sick, and it also push up the cost of insurance when you just gonna go and use your insurance.
Let's look at what the law says, because the law doesn't say that you need a doctor's note. You know, it says
the employee has the right to ask.
No. Hold on. It says that in the form, right? Not talking about the evidence required, in the form of a doctor's certificate or other satisfactory means shall be furnished by the involved employee at any time upon request. So other satisfactory means, I mean, your employer would understand if you called in and you sounded all stuffy and congested, that could be enough to satisfy them. So I think what is happening here is that the law is just trying to understand that there will be some people who will pretend to be sick when they're not sick. And you know what? Most employers, I believe, are reasonable people. So even if you're a woman and you're having like menstrual cramps or whatever, some women have them to the point where they are debilitating and you can't move, you can't work, you can't, you know what I'm saying? And so if you need to take off a day or two for that, for really bad, you know, hello. How are you going to prove that? You know what I'm saying? So sometimes it is a matter of trust. And my experience has been that the vast majority of employers are not even going to ask you about it unless they feel like you are abusing the sick leave system. Can we agree that most people are reasonable in that regard?
No, I don't agree from experience.
From experience. Wow. Well, I mean, it's sad, but I suppose.
I was talking to a friend the other day. And for 20 years, he worked with a very huge company here. And he did not take a sick leave for 20 years.
Oh my God. That's ridiculous. Yeah.
He worked the entire weekend, got up Monday, feeling very tired, called in and told his boss that he wasn't coming in. And it was a big problem. The boss even reprimand HR for telling him that he has a right to a sick leave. And he eventually resigned from that job.
Of course. I mean, after 20 years, you finally want to take a sick day, and your employer is going to question that. They don't deserve good workers. But like I said, most people are not going to do that. That's people. That's people who, I don't know what to say about employers like that. They're ridiculous. But by law, that's over the top.
And I really think that the employers need to look at that, because having your worker have to go to the doctor for something as simple as a day is gonna shove up your premium, insurance premium that you pay.
Exactly. Thank you so much, caller. I appreciate it. All right. Yeah, we have to be reasonable as well. Sounds like some of y'all employers are over the top. So El Rey says some companies may reward you for not taking sick leave, but it is always at the company's discretion. And that's correct. Oh, shoot. I think I have an appointment I'm supposed to be running to. All right. Let me get out of here. All right. So, folks, I'm still trying to run my little errands and get stuff done ahead of my trip. So, yep, I got to get ready. I got a 10:30. All right. So just a couple quick comments and then we'll end the show. El Rey rightfully said that some companies may reward you for not taking sick leave, but that is at their discretion. And I've worked for companies like Maples and Calder back in the day. I don't know if they still do it, but they used to do that back then. Thank you, Siobhan, saying to enjoy the vacation and have fun. Turn your phone off. Denver says sick time is sick time, not to be used in any other way. That's correct. Miss Sandy, you enjoy your vacation. Thank you, Irvlyn. You enjoy yours as well. Andrew says politicians are the ones to blame as they see the garbage and give us promises that they're going to clean and fix, but don't do anything and get paid to do the job. So who is thieving who? Let me see. El Rey says the sick leave law is to deal with people who are trying to scam their employers. And yes, it's a lot of people every month they're trying to take sick leave. Denver says employers need to have a sick note because people constantly are taking a day off here and there claiming to be sick. So, there's a degree of reasonableness. Someone for 20 years who's never taken a sick day. Come on. Do you think people are never sick? And some people who get really like, oh, I don't want you to take a sick day. They force their workers to feel like they have to come in when they're sick, and they make everybody else in the workplace sick as well. Oh, it's a hot mess. All right, folks. So let's leave each other there. 2 weeks. We'll be back on the 4th of November. I want you guys to be safe while I'm away. Obviously, given my job, I don't take a completely disconnected vacation. The website stories will be going up as usual. We'll have that under control. Social media. Just take your time. If you really feel compelled to message me and it's nothing urgent, don't expect an immediate response, because I'm going to be taking my mental health break, my wellness break for 2 weeks and enjoying my vacation. So you might not get the quick responses that you would normally. And it is what it is. Mr. Panton was having some tech issues, so my apologies. I did see his message about that, something about his internet gone down or something. So he did not join the show. So he'll be back with us when we come back in early November. And more, we'll start to see then more MPs coming on the program because we officially launch our, sort of election cycle in November as well. All right. So thank you guys very much. Please be safe over the next couple of weeks, and I will see you guys in November. Everybody good? Big shout out to all of you. Please be safe, and we'll touch bases November the 4th.
Thank you for tuning in to another episode of The Cold Hard Truth on Bobo 89.1 FM. Cayman's #1 talk show is live weekdays from 7:30 a.m. Never miss an episode again. Watch anytime on CMR's Facebook and YouTube channels for the latest show episodes. Don't forget to follow us online on our social media channels. And visit CaymanMarlRoad.com for all the latest news and community happenings.